morning. This is the day the Lord has made, so let us rejoice and be glad in it. I am Pastor Marianne Kellenbach, pastor at Living Faith Church. Living Faith Church is located in the master plan community that is called Tradition in the city of Port St. Lucie in the state of Florida. And today is Wednesday, August the 3rd in the year 2022. For those in our county, and in the county just north of us, Martin County, we're in St. Lucie County. And for those in Palm Beach County, I know that our teachers are going back to the class today. They go back a week earlier to continue in their preparations for the new school year, for the school year 2022 and 2023. Next week, our students report back, all of our learners. This is a new beginning for the school year, and we will pray for all of our teachers and administrators and resource officers, those that are keeping our children safe, those that are helping to educate our children, that, they just have a very healthy year, that everyone stays safe, and that there is that tenacity to work with our young ones who have had a couple of bad, tough years with COVID these past 2 years, and many of whom are suffering right now from many mental health issues. So lots and lots of prayers go out, and may this first day back in the classroom be one that is blessed and filled with hope. So I've been out on vacation with my husband Carl for the past week. It's really good to be back with you doing these devotions. And one of the things that came to mind is, when I'm out and about doing different things, or there's different times in my life, I find that there are certain biblical stories that will stick with me. Like, I feel like this person in the Bible, I can identify with this person, or both positive and negative, by the way. And then there are other times that I may be doing something and scripture will come to mind. Well, I'm sitting on the beach and I'm kicking the sand around. You know how you push it, you're sitting, you're pushing it with your feet, you're doing different things. I don't think I'm the only one that does that while you're sitting, getting a little restless or trying to calm yourself down. And what came to mind is Matthew's gospel about sand and foundation of sand. So I'm going to read this to you from the Message. It is the translation of the Message. It is Matthew's Gospel, chapter 7. And Jesus has climbed the mountain, right? The crowds have gathered around. We know the very famous Sermon on the Mount. And there's more continued teachings that Jesus does. And so he's instructing those that are gathered. This is how you are to live your life. These are critical teachings. We don't get to pick and choose which ones we want. This is not easy. If you really read through these, they're not easy. But here's what Jesus says at the very end in conclusion. He says, "These words I speak to you are not incidental additions to your life, homeowner improvements to your standard of living." I'm going to read that again. "These words I speak to you are not incidental additions to your life, homeowner improvements to your standard of living. They are foundational words, words to build a life on. If you work these words into your life, you are like a smart carpenter who built his house on solid rock. Rain poured down, the river flooded, a tornado hit, but nothing moved that house. It was fixed to the rock. But if you just use my words in Bible studies and don't work them into your life, you are like a stupid carpenter who built his house on the sandy beach. When a storm rolled in and the waves came up, it collapsed like a house of cards." Then Jesus leaves them when he's concluded. The rock. Building our life on the rock. Jesus, the Word, God made flesh, is the rock. A mighty fortress is our God, one that is built on rock, solid rock. And as I was pushing that sand around, I thought about that particular passage. And what really came to mind was the character of God. You know, I can push the sand around how I want it to be and then build my life on that. Well, Jesus says, no, I am the rock. My teachings are the way for you to build your life. It's not just a Bible study. It is listening, absorbing, walking with, talking, and doing and sharing. That's what Jesus is getting at here. What have you built your life on? Have you pushed the sand around and thinks that this is what Jesus is saying, and you've built your house based on what you want Jesus to be saying? Or have you really studied and understood who Jesus is? God incarnate, the one who loves unconditionally, the one who has grace and mercy beyond anything we could ever even imagine, the very creator of the universe, of the world. That's the rock who went to the cross for us. That is what we cling to. The God who doesn't change, is not willy-nilly and decides what's best for God, but always has our best interests in mind. Not just me, Marianne, not just you, but the entire world. And while I may not understand all the time why Jesus or why things happen the way they happen, here's what I do know. The house that I built, and I'm building and continue to build as I'm building my life, is on the rock. Do I sometimes put sand on there so I can build up one side? Yeah, but then I realize I've got to take that sand away. I've got to take the sand away and stay firmly with my feet on the rock. Because if I don't, I'm going to slide and I'm going to fall based on how I build things. Unconditional love from the God who created us out of pure love for us. On this day, go forward. Continue to build your life on the rock. And when you realize or start to recognize the fact that there's sand underneath your feet, push that aside, get back down to the rock, and truly understand what Jesus is saying. Blessings to you on this day, and I will see you tomorrow.